Charter Communication, a cable company. And those are, those are foundational building blocks.
Well, they're foundational buildings for our very large IBM computers that connect directly to your low Earth orbit satellite. And
Right.
them satellites talk to the drones. is
The
this is the
satellites talk to
easiest
the
way to
drone.
say it. Yes. But in relation to the metamaterials changing, as you mentioned, all these different types of landing and coming and going at all hours of night, this
Right.
is a multi-purpose use system.
Right.
So
It's
they
not dual
also
use. It's
not dual
multiple
use,
uses.
multiple use. And one of those common uses is radar in multiple ways that most
Right.
people wouldn't even consider. And so they
Right.
have a different nose, they have a different tail, maybe a different drone. And when I talk on the channel about SOSA and MOSA, those are not fruity drinks.
Mhm.
They are sensors, the same sensors that they put inside the body, but different, made differently. Sensors, open system architecture. That way, when the plane flies through, it emits electrical signals or electromagnetic or infrared or electromagnetic spectrum signals that
Right.
modify the air particulate as the plane goes through. And this, again, I had no idea the level to which the human body is involved in all these systems. So
Right.
that's why I came forward to speak up, because no one else seemed to be able to do so. And I'm hanging on as best I can, but it is a very pressurized position because the way they choose their employees for a lot of these systems is heavily nepotism.
Well, of course, it always has been. It always will be.
Corporate
That's
nepotism as well.
it's easy. It's easy to lean on that method for recruitment of the new people. Nothing surprising about that. Then, if you want some throwaway scapegoats, you can just go to your local junior college or orphans, right? If
Mhm.
you For people out there that are not familiar with the Juxtaposition channel, uh, that's an area I've spent enormous amounts of time on. Is when you look at nationally presented events and you look at who is presented as the criminal, you'll find that they didn't come from under a rock, okay?
Mhm.
Including Charlie Miles Maddox Manson, who I don't think became Manson until he was put into jail for car theft when he borrowed a friend's car in Cincinnati, Ohio, and drove to Los Angeles. They turned that into a 7-year prison sentence. And then they turned Charlie Maddox into Manson, which is the name of a pornography company owned by CBS. Columbia Pictures owns a porn company in Woodland Hills called Manson International, and that became Charlie Maddox's name. And then they made him a geologist and sent Charlie Manson to Mexico to study soil before he was later sent back to the United States, rearrested, and sent to Puget Sound to learn how to play the guitar with Ma Barker's cousin in trying to think of the name of that place, McNeil Island, a Trident submarine Navy base is where Charlie Manson spent about 5 years on a Trident submarine base before they sent him back to Los Angeles County to Terminal Island for 8 months before they released him to become a straight Satan motorcycle drug dealer. But then they switched him out to play the guitar at Sathergate at UC Berkeley. So if you follow the Charlie Manson story from cradle to grave, you'll realize he was a throwaway person. His mother was 15 years old when she delivered him. She did not have a husband. Um, Her name was Catherine Maddox. His name on the birth certificate read no name Maddox. There was no Manson. There was supposedly a Manson that came along later. Charlie never knew him. And there's no reason for him to adopt a name of a person who he didn't even know. Anyway, he's a good example. Donald DeFreeze, who was the Field Marshal General Sinque, who raped